What's up, YouTube fans? Today, I'm going to take a look at the Robot Paradise, or FansToys as we know it, Acoustic Blaster, or their version of a Masterpiece scale Soundblaster. So this is the second in this mold. It's a repaint, obviously, of Soundwave. And I was excited to get it because we do get a new tape with this guy. Plus, we're going to be getting some tapes a little bit later. That pack is coming a little bit later, so I'll be taking a look at that. But for now, we've got this guy. I'm starting here in tape deck mode. I'm going to transform into robot mode just because we've already done the review, so I might as well do it the other direction. Now, there are some things out of box that you need to pay attention to and get right. And in my unboxing video, I didn't quite get all the things. So when I get it into robot mode, I will show you everything you need to do to get it configured correctly for robot mode. But let's start and take a look at this gorgeous tape deck mode. You got the chrome metal for this, translucent purple for the door. You have die cast buttons here. They don't actually press, but they do look nice. You do have a slider or a switch here, die cast. On the other side, you have a dial that turns, a die cast dial. On the top, of course, you get the eject button. It opens up, and you can see the inside there. We do have this mechanism to eject an inner tape if you do put a second tape in there. I'm not going to put a second tape in there, but you can fit 2 tapes if you want to. And then this is the mechanism we use to eject that inner tape. And of course, we get a new tape here. This is Nightbat, or Ratbat as we know him. Comes in a little cover and looks pretty nice. It got gold chrome, purple gunmetal, a little bit of red there. And you can of course put this in. I think this is the easiest configuration to get it in with this piece on the back. So this is going to slide down into here. It is a tight fit, but it does go in. And I found that it only fits that way. You can go ahead and close it up, and there you have Nightbat in there displayed. Looks pretty nice. But we do want to see this guy, so let's get him transformed. So we're going to pull out on the wings. Give yourself a little room. You can fold down this little wing piece here, the gold chrome. We're going to use this hinge here to rotate that back, rotate this up, rotate that down. Same this one, rotate this up, rotate this back, and then rotate this down. You can open up these little doors here. Inside you'll see the little boosters hidden away. So fold those down on both sides. You can just spudger if you can't get a finger in here. And then close those doors back up. There are feet down here. They're very hard to access right in here. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. I tend to push down on this and that helps, but you definitely are going to want a spudger or something to get in here and rotate this foot. It's really tight, but that's one foot out. Same thing here. Rotate that back with your finger and then pop it up with a spudger. It should look like that. We can, oh, we forgot to rotate the head up. So we're going to rotate this head, rotate those panels down, rotate the head to the other side, bring this all the way around, and put these back. Now we can take care of the wings. So open this up, open this up. We can rotate this up so it's facing upwards like that. And then same on this side, rotate the wing down, rotate the wing down, and rotate this up. And there you go. There is Nightbat in bat mode. And it looks really good. It looks really cool. I'm a big fan of how they did this. The gold chrome looks really nice. You do have the boosters down here. These doors do tab in, so just give it a firm push to get them tabbed in, but just be careful with the gold chrome. Try not to scratch it up. But here's the back. Very nice looking version of Ratbat. And of course you can pose the wings or do whatever you want, but he can sit on here or wherever you'd like him to sit. You can also put on some of the toy parts here. Now, some of the parts that are inside, obviously I'm not going to be able to access, but we can add these. So these are the leg pieces which give it the toy look. They are marked left and right, so this says L right there. So that's going to go on the left side, which I think is this side. So you're going to plug this in right here. You're going to rotate this around 180 degrees. I'll have that upside down. This is going to plug in right here. This tab right here on the top is going to peg in right there. And I actually never even knew this about the original. So in my review, you didn't see this, but you can plug those pieces in there and store them if you want. Same for this one. Rotate this around. And again, make sure you have the left and right correct, otherwise it won't fit. They are side specific. And there you go. And we have some more parts that we can't really store here. Like these go on the shins. And right now we can't access the shins. You can leave these on for transformation. Same for this. You can leave this on for transformation if you want. I just wanted to mention that. We do have one other accessory, which is we can remove this door. And you want to push it from the top and then lift it out. It is tight. It's a tight fit, but that is how it comes out. So push in and then lift up. And here is the replacement piece. Just make sure you have it the right direction. So it looks like this. Pretty cool. And I think we want this line on the bottom, but go ahead and insert it down first and then push it forward. It'll snap into place. Close that up. And now you have kind of a more toy look. And for quick comparison, there it is next to the Takara Tomy MP13 Soundwave. You can see slightly different in size. This is a brick. I mean, it's really heavy and thick. Lots of die cast in here. This one's mostly plastic, is a little bit of die cast. You can see the tape door is much smaller on the FansToys. The overall proportions are more squared off. And then here are the difference in the Ratbats. And I find this interesting. This actually looks a lot better. Just overall, the paint, the sculpt. But this holds up pretty well. I was surprised when I took this out. You know, it is, cheap feeling because it's all plastic. There's no die cast. But it's not bad for a very, very old tape. I was impressed when I transformed this. Like, it still holds up. So there you go for comparison. And of course, since it's tradition, here it is next to MP10 Optimus Prime. Obviously, the scale here doesn't make any sense, but since it's tradition, I wanted to show it. All right, now let's get Acoustic Blaster transformed into robot mode. And I am going to try to leave these toy parts on just to show you can transform it. But if they fall off, I'm just going to leave them off. And let's start with one side first, and then I'll do the other side off camera. So come to the side here. We're going to unpeg this from the top. We can open up this, so unpeg this from here. Come to the bottom, there's a little panel right there. So as you release this from here, and you come to the inside and fold that panel in. And we can rotate this around and just leave that there for now. Like I said, if that falls off, I'm giving up on it. We can come to here and rotate this around. It's a double hinge, so make sure you get that whole hinge moved. That little button's going to end up inside there. And peg that in. Close that panel up. We're going to take all of this and make sure you have this unpegged. That'll allow you to unpeg this leg. This little panel here, when you're going into tape deck, just make sure it makes its way underneath here. It's a little thing that's easy to miss, so go ahead and do that. And see it fell off, so I'm just going to leave it off. But make sure you have this rotated up and then have the leg out like this. And then we'll start taking care of this. This is one little problem that happens. This panel gets stuck to the side, so you can just take it and move it. Not a big deal. That is a replaceable panel for the toy style, but I just want to mention that it does sometimes get stuck there. Alright, so rotate the foot out, rotate it down, and then rotate this up, tab it back in. This is going to come down, and if you had this attached still, you could still do it. Let's see if we can show you. Bring this down, this is going to come down, make sure you rotated this back around, and then tab that in to the side of the leg. So you get that look. Let's see, we're going to pull this out. We're going to open up this panel. This little teeny tiny detail, this panel right here, is supposed to be folded in for robot mode. Out of box, it's folded out. So you do want to fold that in. I missed that in my unboxing, but go ahead and fold this knee panel back down so it looks like that. Then you're going to come to the bottom here. We're going to rotate the thigh so it lines up with this. And then you're going to bring down this little tab and tab it in. And then we can bring this leg down. All right. So that's one leg done. Go ahead and do the other one. I'll do it off camera. I'll be right back. All right, now that we got both legs done, we can take care of the arms. The arms are pegged in right here. You can use a spudger to just release them from here. It's pretty tight, actually. So those are pegged in right in here inside. Use this double hinge to accordion it out, bring it around, and peg it back in. It is a very tight fit, so I recommend use your thumb and get it pegged back in. But like I said, it's a very, very tight tab. Look at that. You saw the force it took to put that in. All right, same on this one. Unpeg this, bring it around on the double hinge, and then peg that in, make sure it's lined up, and then press that in. And I would put pressure here, not on here. All right, so you can lift up on the arm, rotate this down, bring that back up, and then rotate the hand out. Same on this one. And now we can take care of the back and the hips. So bring this down. We're going to rotate these panels in. We're going to rotate these in, rotate this around, and leave that right there for now. I'm going to open up these hip skirts and bring them down. You can just put the arms out to the side for now. And come to the back here. We're going to unpeg this. And here is our battery pack, his gun, and his shoulder can. So just take that out, set that aside. Flip the head up. Bring this back in. You can open this up. This whole thing, this is another thing that's wrong out of box, is this is flipped down. You want it to be flipped up like this. And then this is just going to sit back down here. So for now, don't peg it in because we have some work to do, but it should be shorter. You don't want this to be a longer backpack. Again, something I missed in the unboxing. Come to the bottom here. You're going to unpeg this little tab. Unpeg this from here. And now we can hinge this up, slide it upwards. Now that we slide it upwards, we can rotate the waist around. We also have to rotate this around, the legs down here. So get this rotated. So it should sit like that. So you're actually rotating two different things here. Come to the back here. You have to get these two metal pieces down. So there's two little retaining clips. Bring them down. They should sit right under here. It actually holds his waist up. Now you can bring these back down. And we can bring this down. Tab this into the front. And then tab this into the crotch. These can come down. Now this you have an option. I prefer to do it this way. I just think it's a little bit cleaner. But if you want, you can have it this way with the buttons sticking out. Some people like that, more toy look. I'm just going to have it like this. Then we can bring the backpack down, tab that in. You can see how it fits perfectly underneath there. It does get caught up here, but you can move it out of the way. And a finishing touch, of course, he's not complete without his shoulder cannon. So here's the gun. You can tell the difference because this gun has a handle, the shoulder cannon does not. So right here is the peg. You're going to open up this peg, which we had folded down for the alt mode. It's a little tough to get in there, but you can fold that up. It's a very tight peg. And then we're going to take this and you can kind of shimmy it on there. Get that shimmied on and then pull back on this and then you can lift it up. All right, there is Acoustic Blaster in robot mode and I love it. I love how this looks. The color scheme on this is really nice. The gunmetal color they use is not quite black. It's a glossy kind of metallic gunmetal, so it looks really nice. Pearlescent white here, red, got yellow here for the knees, that same gold that we saw on the tape door. Here's the back. It's a very clean robot, just like the original. Yeah, overall, I'm really happy with how this looks. Nice metallic red for the eyes, metallic red here for the shoulder cannon. We do have the toy parts on here, so I might as well just show you how to get the rest of the toy parts on, since we're halfway there anyway. So we are going to first take care of the knee. So lift this out. And we do have to kind of undo some things. We're going to lift this out. We're going to open up the foot and then pop out this panel. You want the hole on the bottom. And then grab the new one and pop that into there. Reclose the foot. Reattach this. We can pop this off. This little panel and pop on the new one. I don't think these are side specific. Let me see if they say L or R. Yeah, they don't. So you'll have to do it from looks, but I'm going to do it with the yellow towards the inside. Let's see. Yeah. And then before you close this up, you're going to come to the knee, bend the knee, pull forward on this little piece right here, and then grab your new knee piece. Looks like this. Slide that on, close that up, close that up. And then there's that one done. So I'll get this one done off camera. All right, and there it is with the legs all configured in the toy style. Next, we got to do the shoulders. So you're going to lift up on this panel. Now, remember, the original was very hard to get this off. Let's see how this. Oh, that one came right off. Okay, so it looks like that. So just replace it with the right side. These are. They feel like die cast. I'm not sure. Maybe they're not, but I feel like it. Just plug that in like that, and then same on this side. Yeah, these came off much easier than the original, so that's fortunate. And one last piece here. It does look great already, but we have the alternate face, toy style face, and that will just slide forward. So if we pull forward on this head, there we go. Took a little bit of effort, but you can separate it. So it looks like that, and then just pop on the new one. And there you go. There is the fully decked out toy look. I love this. I love how this looks. It's just so cool. Now you can do this on the original. They did give you the parts, but for me personally, I think it just makes more sense to have Soundblaster in this toy deco. But yeah, looks really good. Let's go over his articulation. The head is on a rotating swivel, so it goes up to there. The neck joint itself can move, so you can get it up even further. You don't really need it, but head goes up to there, down to there, rotates around. The shoulder cannon can go all the way up to there, and it's on a double pivot, so it can go down to there, and you can rotate on that peg. Shoulders rotate around on a ratchet, out to the side on a ratchet, rotation at the bicep. You have a single jointed elbow, but it gets you all the way up to there. Pretty much the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. Individual articulated fingers at 1, 2, 3 pins, and then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. Very nicely done hands. I really like these hands over a lot of the prior hands that came before this. Waist rotation. It is a little bit hindered, but if you kind of undo this a little bit, you can get it further, and then you can kind of put that backpack down. So you can rotate, all the way. You have ab crunch built in here, so it gets down to there, back to there. Hip skirts will move out of the way, and the legs can go up to there. Back to here, it is hindered by this, but you can kind of move this out of the way if you wanted to. She gets back to there. Out to the side on friction, but it holds nicely. Rotation at the thigh around a weird joint here I've not seen. It is kind of universal, but not really. But it works. We have I believe a single jointed knee, but the range is really good. It really works. You have a ankle tilt. They actually did it. They didn't just use the toe. The whole ankle does tilt. So it goes up to there, back to there, and you get forward and backward. It's not a lot, but you do get a forward and backward, and the toe can tilt down. And as far as accessories, we did already show you all of the toy style deco pieces. So the only other thing that we get is this Energon cube. Now it doesn't, I guess you could attach it like this, but it doesn't actually stay. So, well, I guess he does. Okay, so you can do that. Have him making Energon. You could probably put pieces of paper in here to color it purple or whatever you want, but that's a nice little accessory there. Or we also get Ratbat here, which of course you can display. You can put him in his chest as well, which I showed in the all mode. Now, he doesn't really have a peg point, so you can't really peg him in here. He does have a tab on the arm, but I don't see a way to tab it in there either. Yeah, it just doesn't attach. You can kind of rest it there, but there's nothing kind of holding him. So you're just kind of balancing it. Now, when we had the laser beak, he had a little hole in the bottom of his foot, so you could attach him. So when we get Buzzsaw, he's going to be able to do this, because obviously same design. But for whatever reason, this one they didn't do that. I guess you could put him on his back, like this, although it needs to be a little bit higher to recreate the original look. But you can rest him on his backpack there. So if you want to do that, we'll just set him aside for now. We also get his blaster here. Looks like this. We can open this up, fold down the handle, extend the barrel or the tip, done in nice chrome. Really good looking. And this will, of course, peg into his hand. And by the way, if you want to store it in his backpack, you still can in robot mode, but who's going to do that? But there you go, really nice looking with that weapon. And we'll just get Ratbat sitting on his back there, just to show you what I'm doing. It's sitting right here on his back. And for a quick comparison, there it is next to the original Acoustic wave, their sound wave. And I do have a custom chest on here, but other than that, it is the same. I kind of used a mix of toy parts and tune parts. It just makes them a little bit more visually interesting. So that's a cool thing you can do with this. If you don't want all the toy parts, you can kind of mix and match. Like I said, my plan is to have all the toy parts on this guy, but it's nice that you can just have it displayed, and whatever makes sense for you, you can make it look like. And for another comparison, there it is next to the FansToys version of Galvatron Sovereign. Looks really nice. I believe he actually created him from Soundwave, so I think this is apropos to display them together. And then, of course, because it's tradition, there it is next to the Magic Square Optimus Prime. Fits in very nicely with the Masterpiece scale, of course. So final recommendations on the Robot Paradise or FansToys Acoustic Blaster. I really like this thing. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, a strong recommendation. It is a really well done version of Soundblaster. The robot mode looks great. I love the option of displaying it in toy mode, which we had with the original, but for whatever reason, this one just works better for me personally. I do like the Ratbat here. They did a good job on him. It looks really good. I do wish it had like a mounting bracket that would attach to his backpack. Now I'm sure these 3D printing guys, somebody's going to make that bracket. Maybe Printformers, or I don't know, somebody will make it. But that's the one thing I think this is missing, is a way to mount Ratbat on him. But other than that, I mean, they nailed it. This is probably the best Soundblaster that has been made. The Takara version's pretty good as well, but I think this definitely beats it out just because of the ability to change it into this toy look. But that's really it for today. Thanks to Nick the Toy Guy for sending this out for review so quickly. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.